Good morning to you. I seem to be having technical difficulties today with my camera, so let me start this video one more time. Today is Wednesday, July 17th. It's about 6:20 in the morning right now. I had to borrow my son's little magnetic number 7 here because I can't put a 7 together with one hand while clicking on the photo with my other. So this is my 7th shot of Ozempic. So I've been doing this now for 6 full weeks, about a month and a half. And between doing these shots and changing my lifestyle, I've actually been able to see progress on the scale itself. Now, the hopes are when my whole 3 months are done, I'll get a new blood panel done, probably about mid to late September, and I'll see it's not only the scale that's being affected by this, but Ozempic is actually meant to work on people with diabetes by lowering their A1C, maybe getting a handle on some other cholesterol numbers. And I actually also have, unfortunately, due to my lifestyle in the past, a fat deposits on my liver. And this, the doctor says, is supposed to even go to town on that. So I'm going to try to get new scans, new blood work, and we'll see if my body's going to be in a better shape internally than it was before I got assistance with using semaglutides. So I'm done with this prop. Let me get rid of that. Let me get into the main thing right now. So I just unboxed my second set of Ozempic pens. Okay, I had already gone through and exhausted the first one because in the early stages, these Ozempic pens are 2 milligram pens. So I was able to do 4 weeks at about a 0.25 and then 2 weeks at a 0.5. So this little keepsake is now done. So I'll leave it over there with the rest of the crap you can't see on my desk. And now we're starting out with a brand new pen. Now, one of the things that happens with Ozempic versus other drugs that I'm now learning, there's a woman named Jamie that talks about her husband's journey using, I believe, Zepbound. Those pens, I believe, are a one and done usage. Okay. Ozempic actually works with a serrated tip on top here that I can just re-screw on new needles. So I can keep using this pen until the juice is used up. Okay. They actually give me a little container with separate needle heads in it. So each needle head I can take out, put onto the pen, use it, throw out the needle head, and use it again another time. So let me start doing that now. So here's my little container. Here's my pen. Male, female, screw, screw, screw. It goes in there. Nice and firm. Boom. I now have this one ready to go. Now for my injection site. So I'm going to do old school, a little bit of tissue, a little bit of alcohol. I want to thank Nancy Curtis. She's a nurse who made a comment, I believe, on my last video when I had made comments regarding my injection site having a little bit of bruising on it. And she gave me the little tip. She doesn't know why it works, she says, but apparently if I kind of like pinch the injection site and like grab a little bit of fat and then inject in that section, bruising should be mitigated. I'm going to give that a shot now. So, because this pen itself can be used multiple times, they actually have a little dial on the end here that I can turn, and then the window here will let me know how many milligrams I have turned to. Okay? I actually have a friend, an older gentleman, who used something like these pens before in the past, and his thing has no window, no numbers. So he literally has to remember to click like 32 times. And if you hear this, that would be annoying to count. Just all that. Maybe I can do it this way and the window will pop up. Okay, there's the 0.25. Sorry for the clarity not exactly being there. Just listen to all those clicks. 0.5. Now I have my dosage all ready to go. There's another further cap here that actually has the needle. This very thin, I'll put it on the green. Now, not going to work. Very thin little thing. I even got a little drop of liquid ready to come out of that. But 0.5 is ready. I have my injection site ready here. Sorry, as I look down. Squeezy squeeze. All done again. Okay, and then for safety reasons, let's put that little cap back on there. Let's unscrew it back into here. Boom. This pen is now ready for next week's use. So, there we go. I can toss this into the regular trash and call it a day. Now, this would be a boring video if that's all I did. So let's talk a little bit more. So, I got my one prop that we used already with the number 7 being today's 7th shot. By the way, I'm feeling great. I really am. And what I've done actually is, like I said, I've changed my lifestyle a bit. Because they say that these things are supposed to kind of like shrink up your stomach, almost like a chemical lap band, from what I'm hearing. Okay? So I decided to do what I call the act as if, where I've already started to decrease my portion sizes on any meal I take. In fact, one of the things that I do is I go through and I have been using Slim Fast shakes also. So that's my meals most of the time for breakfast and lunch. Now, this time I'm not talking about sustainability. Okay? One of the things that people like to do is talk about how your efforts should fail in the long term. Okay? I'm aware of this. I'm not going to stop people from naysaying. And in fact, of the 6 videos I've done prior to this, there was twice in the course of 3 videos, I think 4, 5, and 6, that someone had felt the need to throw something out there saying, stop what you're doing, don't do this anymore, look at what it's doing to my friend. Okay? Well, as they say, individual results may vary. Okay? The first negative comment I received regarding someone saying, by the way, your weight that you lose is going to be some of your fat, but also your muscle. And it's going to be those things that you really need in your life, not just pounds on a scale. So stop it. It turns you into a muscleless zombie and you'll walk around that way. Sounds more Florida to me, but, you know. But what I'm doing also is I'm exercising. I'm not exercising as much as I should, and I understand that. But I do have a trainer I hooked up with. I meet him a couple times a week. And he's even trying to give me homework to make sure I maintain things when I'm not seeing him. And that's what needs to be done in general. We all need to exercise in some fashion. I have a nice little suburban community here in southern Jersey. I'm actually in South Jersey now. That I'm seeing people literally walking around this neighborhood every day, almost all day. Sometimes even in inclement weather, where it's too hot, where it's snowing, where it's, rain or drizzle. People will still get out there and walk. They're actually the smart ones, believe it or not. My whole fear was I had noticed that some people can be large like I am and then lose fat, but then they'll have that flappy skin somewhere. So I need to firm up my chest and firm up my belly. So that's one of my main reasons for exercising is if all of this is very successful and you hear some of those stories of people being wildly successful online, I want to make sure it still looks decent after the fact. If I would need plastic surgery, I probably have to try to go get that, but I know that's expensive, and sometimes they say you have to be that certain way for a while. So, exercise is important, and I'm going to go for it. The second thing someone said negatively was on how this almost sounds conspiratorial to me, but it's like this thing is going to take away your cravings, and now you'll no longer have hunger, and that's why you can eat less, and that's why you'll see any scale gains or losses as they occur. It's always funny to see what's a gain when you're jumping on a scale, because you can either gain weight or lose weight, or is losing weight a gain because you're going in the right direction. That's a philosophical discussion for another time and probably for other people. But this guy went up further, or this person went further to say, yeah, you lose your appetite, your hunger for hunger, but then you start losing your desire to like do your hobbies or even play sports or to do other things that interest you, and then it kind of like calcifies into like a depression while you zombie out in that fashion. And while I do appreciate these comments and it's good to see things out there, for me, none of that is occurring. I'm actually seeing more and more me getting into things as I'm being productive in this stage in my life. For instance, to talk about being productive in other stages of your life, I actually took my wife a couple weeks ago and we walked around the house. And I literally went room by room and asked her, what do you need done in this room? Okay? And I brought with me a huge little post-it notepad. And what I did was every single page I made another room. And I now have like a full to-do list of everything. And these things include very small things like, something, there are still some hooks on the wall from the prior owner. I've only been here for a few years. Let's get those hooks down, paint the section, or maybe spackle the hole in, and then repaint it over that. Okay, that's good. They put up big curtains. We don't have big curtains, but all the hardware was still on the wall. Let's take that down, get rid of it, clean it up. My wife actually went to something at the school that she went to, and they had raffle tickets, and she put some raffle tickets and got this like large screen, flat screen TV. Well, this will be good to go into the kids' playroom. So we have to put it on the wall, and then they have a nice little flat screen there. In that room right now, I actually have my old Sony Trinitron 27-inch huge-ass boob tube that has no HDMI ports because I got it in 1993. And I remember when I first bought that. It was the first TV I had ever bought. And at the time, it cost $1,000. Now she's winning twice the size flat screens for like a $5 ticket. So it could be amazing sometimes. But I've got myself a nice little, honey-do list that I myself created. And I'm trying every week to do a little bit. And in fact, with that list, actually it wasn't even on the list, one of the things that I had to take care of, and I did it this weekend, was my garage door, the opener was just opening the garage randomly. Now this house is only like 15 years old. So 15 years, some of those devices might start to go. But it was concerning because we would lock up at night and go to bed, wake up in the morning and find the garage door has been open like for God knows how long in the night. So on Sunday, after I saw my trainer, so I went to church in the morning, saw my trainer after that, went to Home Depot, grabbed 2 of these things, and then replaced the ones I have. Boom. That concern is now taken care of. The little bit of stress that's been building has now been diminished because I don't have to worry about, is the garage door open again? Are my tools stolen? Did people come in and screw them with my refrigerator that I have out in the garage? Boom. I worked on something. It's done. So personally, my motivation is doing pretty well. So maybe those things that the negative people said do exist, but your results may vary. Another thing is this weekend was, again, a real hot weekend. I have a mother who just turned 80. Very thankful she's still with us. So the whole family got together. I'm one of 6 children, by the way, and we have children and we have spouses and everything else. We're kind of dynasties in our size. We all went to the Monmouth racetrack and watched the horses, and even got her name on one of the horse races too. So we were out. We were in a box seat, so we were shaded with with an overhang, but it was still kind of like a high 80s day. And we catered the event as well. But with my new mindset, I didn't need all that much. I had a couple little things over the course of the 4 or 5 hours we were there. And I had made a decision to not drink that day. So, I'm taking my new mindset and trying to apply it to the field, as it were. So the good thing is, spent from like noon to 5 out at the racetrack and moderated it. So I'm able to take what I can do at home and put it out into the world. Okay? And therefore, because I was out there, I wasn't near fridges around here that I can maybe steal one of my kids' candies that he's got like plenty of because he loves it and I'm a loving father. Now, the only reason why I'm even going into all this is I can say weekends are usually tougher when you're trying to change your body and your life. But I was able to have most of my afternoon locked up doing the horse race. And then on Sunday, I was working so much in the garage getting these things up in the ceiling that I skipped lunch. Now, I know some people say, don't skip meals, they're very important. Okay? But I was just busy. So the whole thing was, I was so busy and it was so hot. Even in my garage, which had like a concrete slab floor, it was pretty freaking hot. I had to put a fan on, but I had to operate with the garage door closed so I can get above it and put in this garage door opener. So I was able to pull myself away from inputs. Why is that important? Well, like I said, got my graphics department here. They came up with our handy dandy measurement. I'm 273.2 today. So this is a 3.7 pound differential in just this last week. Feel free to comment on how that's dangerous and I should only do about a pound a week. But in my case, 3.7 pounds. So this was an amazing week for what I was trying to do here. Okay? And I don't miss it. And I'm actually pretty surprised by this because there were a couple times that I did, have like popcorn for desserts, or maybe I had 2 drinks one night instead of having only one. I usually try to have none if I can, but I indulged here and there, but I kind of indulged a little bit with hunger, so I'm not upset about it. Like even yesterday, I had my 2 shakes for breakfast and lunch, because these days I'm doing this slim fast thing to try to do meal replacement, but still get protein, still get in calories actually, to do well for myself. But I thought I was going to be about the same as last week, so this number really surprises me, and I'm happy. And this means that since I started this at 286, I'm down 12.8 pounds in 6 weeks. Now, long time ago, actually rewind, 2 years ago is when I actually started doing this series of videos. Okay, that was when I got a blood test done in the summer of 2021. Okay, and it was coming back with results. Again, pre-diabetic then. And I was like, listen, at the time I had a kid who was like 1 year old. The other one was 3 years old. And I said to myself, if I'm going to be around for these kids through their lives, I got started late in life. I had these kids in my mid-40s. My wife was in her young 40s, so to speak. So if I want to stay around for them and enjoy them, I got to fix this. So when I started doing these videos, from the course of like September 1st through November, I had lost a quick 20 pounds. Okay, and I think I'm at a size that those pounds are the easiest to get rid of, all right? So I got the 20 pounds quick, and then from like November to February, there was like 5 more. So 25 was my max loss then. And then it just slowly started creeping back up again. And my videos, as they were creeping back up, I think I just wanted to show good news and not bad news, even though I said I would do both. They became less and less. I became less accountable to myself. And therefore, it all came back up. Those videos started at 282. Now fast forward 3 years, I'm starting this at 286. So with the drug and with my new lifestyle, hopefully I can re-get those gains of losses, working with words on this one, back, and things will be better. So one of the things I had done, and I'll reinstitute now, is way back in the days, going back to what I was starting to say before, I was a person that actually started using Weight Watchers. And then Weight Watchers gives you these little charms for being there. But the majority of these charms that I got on this little ring here that I just hold on to are like participation trophies. You know, each one of these things might be things that I might have achieved or been around during an event, or maybe I did some of my 5Ks, because back in the day I was a fun runner. So I would get things like a little Running Man charm to put on here. But for the most part, they're participation trophies. But they do have these little things which are like barbells, and each one shows a weight loss thing. I forgot about this. I just found it recently. So this actual purple one was a 5-pound weight loss. I could have actually showed this one a while ago, or a few videos back. But I've taken off the other weight loss ones, and then I grabbed this one now. So I'll start showing these as they're available. Okay, this is a 10-pound charm. This might be blurry, but there's a little 10 on there. So now I can actually attach this and say, I have now actually gained a new charm saying I've lost 10 pounds. So I actually have other ones that I hadn't earned yet, but I had bought on eBay, just saying, I hope to do this and use this one day. So we'll see how this goes. By the way, the irony is, this was all from Weight Watchers. They're not even called Weight Watchers anymore, because the weight loss people can't talk about weight in today's society. They are WW. But screw that. This is a Weight Watchers charm. Now I'm done with this one. So I got the 10-pound one on there, and I've lost 12.8 so far in the last 6 weeks. So hopefully I'll get the 15 one on there soon, and then the 20 after that, and try to make these things happen as they happen. Not sure what else I wanted to say today. I'm still doing well, so I'm happy to hear that. I hope that is, if anybody's watching this for any kind of motivation, if that helps you with motivation, I'm glad it does. I'm very happy for that. So, I had something else to say, but I didn't write any notes for this video, so I'm just going to end it right here. Thank you for watching. I'm going to keep doing this every Wednesday as much as I can. And, oh, I know one thing I wanted to say. So when it comes to weight loss, generally the person that's doing it is the last person to notice anything. Now, I'm not really out in the public too much, so people aren't like seeing me from week to week or so ever else, but they're not going to be able to say, oh my God, you look so different or whatever else. And I'm literally not looking for those things. But for me, the one thing I've noticed so far, and this usually happens to me, is, you know, I've got a full face. I got a full ass face. So these lines here, like this demarcation, is becoming a little bit more refined and defined for me. Small ones on this side. So that's the first thing I'm seeing so far. So that's helping me out. I mean, as it is, I got this Fred Flintstone little jowl thing here. So hopefully that escapes me as well. Unfortunately, I think because I have a full face, as this goes away, this might just start sagging or whatever else. But I'll take that when it comes. Okay. First things first. I'm actually feeling a little bit more energy. I'm a little bit more spry. So I'm just looking forward to seeing what happens next. All right. I'll leave it there. The rest of this house is waking up right now. We actually had a guest that spent the night over last night, in between traveling, so we were kind of like a midway between where she was and where she lives and where she's going to have to go back to tomorrow. So let me close this up right now. Thank you for listening. Love to hear from you, the people who have mentioned before and even new ones. And again, I don't believe so much in the negatives, but I'm not going to stop you from saying things. Although I will say, though, if you're crass, over the top, or you give me some other trash or junk, that's getting deleted. I'm just going to do it. Okay? But you will find me receptive. I think I do a good job of replying to everyone. So I want to hear your story. Ask me more about mine. We'll be on the same page. All right? Thank you very much, and you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye now.